And one of those congressmen who was there in the Capitol as this all unfolded joins me now. California Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz, thank you so much for being here. And first of all, we're just so glad to see that you're safe. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. I'm on 2 hours of sleep because I was determined to stay up all night and ensure that the Electoral College was ratified, to let everybody know, the world and other governments know, that this violence will never deter American democracy from proceeding, and our oath to protect our Constitution.
And walk us through those moments yesterday. When did you first know that something was wrong?
Well, we started noticing that the Capitol Police started speaking with the others on their walkie-talkies a little more frequently. Other members started sharing their cell phones, and we were seeing images of the protest outside, but we didn't know they started breaching until the Capitol Police started moving more hurriedly and really started running, and they locked the doors. And at one point, they stopped the debate and told us that we need to start planning on taking cover. And that tear gas was deployed, and they instructed us on how to use the gas mask that was under our seats. At that point, of course, everybody got really solemn, and tensions were high. We didn't really know what was happening. We really couldn't see in real time the images because all the doors were locked. So everybody was on edge, and they were able to evacuate the people on the bottom floor first. I was on the top floor in the gallery, and we were last to be evacuated. And that's when the glass on the door was broken, and I heard a gunshot while I was in there. People took cover, and I was thinking in my mind, if there was a broach of security and somebody came in with a semi-automatic, what do we do? And so I thought, as an emergency physician and the training that I have, and I started telling members out loud, if somebody comes in and starts shooting, 1, you hide. 2, you run if you feel safe. And 3, if all else fails, we have to ambush the gunner. Those are the training for mass shootings. And so people started realizing the seriousness of this, and that's what we needed to think through 2 or 3 steps ahead, so that we make rapid, quick decisions that will save people's lives.
I mean, it's amazing that you had the presence of mind in those moments to do that. I know you were locked down for 7 hours. What was going through your mind that you think triggered that response of, okay, let's figure out what the steps are to do? And at any point, did you just panic?
No, see, I felt the same physiological response that somebody has when they're in an emergency situation, but I didn't feel fear, because fear clouds the mind. It was more like a heightened sense of awareness, like I was flying, I was walking on air, ready to run at any moment, ready to think quickly. And in my training, you got to think through emergencies and life and death situations, and what I would do, and I would try to exude that calm and rationale to other members that were in the house. And in addition, I was thinking, if something happened, what would I do in taking care of others? On our walk, once we were evacuated, on our walk, there were some elderly who couldn't walk down the stairs as rapidly as others, so I held their hands and walked them down. When we got to the secure location, I told the Capitol physician that we were going to need bottled water, and that we were going to need snacks, that there's possibility people are diabetic, on insulin, and skip the meal and could become hypoglycemic. So I was just going around doing wellness checks and making sure everybody's mood was okay, that they stayed calm in this situation. Tensions were very high. People started pointing fingers at others, and that was not the moment to do that. So the first instinct was survival and keeping peace and keeping calm.
Yeah, it sounds like your doctor instincts kicked in there, and it sounds like you stayed calm under pressure. How was everybody else doing in the midst of all of this? Because you have to imagine tensions were high when everyone is literally fearing for their lives in this moment.
The possibility of death, I think, occurred in everybody's mind. There were those who were also calmed, and then there were those who were tearful and very nervous. But what was most important is that they remained calm, and most of the people did, and they followed the instruction of the Capitol Police. and everybody was reminded to do so. When we went to the secured location, I saw this young girl. She was looked like she was in middle school, and she was crying. She was very afraid, and her mother was there, and so. I approached her as I would a family member, a niece of mine, and I would say, "Sweetheart, everything's going to be okay," in a very calm way. And I spoke to her mom, and so people were angry, people were scared, people were crying, people were but most members were listening and following through with the instructions.
And I know when you were in the room, you obviously did not know exactly what was happening, but when you look back at some of the video moments that have been captured of the breach actually happening, what's your reaction to all of this and to see these people just making their way into the nation's capital?
When I woke up this morning and saw the images on the news, I said, wow, that was really intense out there. And no wonder they used tear gas. I feel very sad for the woman and her family that was killed. And the 3 others that died because of this. This happened really quickly. So the big question I have is, why weren't we better prepared? Trump signaled this in social media. He was inciting this kind of behavior. Representatives like Lou Gohmert was insinuating that there needed to be an armed insurrection type of protest. And so why weren't we quicker able to demonstrate force? Now, I have the utmost respect for the Capitol Police, and the Capitol Police that were there in front of me did a great job in protecting us. And moving us and evacuating us. So I think these are decisions at a higher strategic level that we should be asking.
And despite all of this, as you mentioned, House members and senators did eventually reconvene and certified the presidential election results. I know you barely got any sleep getting this done, but why was it so important to you to finish last night?
Well, for me personally, it's the dusting off teachings that I give my daughter. If you ever feel like you've been down for any reason, you just dust yourself up, get up, and go at it again. And so personally, I needed to finish this to show that we are determined and that we will never break. And then for our nation, and for the world really, is to show our resolve and the American spirit of fulfilling our oath to protect our Constitution, to ratify the Electoral College. Look, President Trump and the Republican members in the House were really inciting the public in order to obstruct the counting of the Electoral College. That is an attack on our Constitution. That is an attack on the process of a democracy. And so we would not deter from accomplishing what we needed to get done. And that's important because no threat of violence, no act of violence will ever stop us. And everybody was in agreement. I hear that Senator Mitch McConnell was in agreement to proceed. Speaker Pelosi was in agreement to proceed. All the members were enthusiastically willing to go back. And so it was an accomplishment for democracy. I'm very proud of our American people that voted in their candidate, and that we fulfilled the will of the people, and we did not succumb to this violence or the fear of violence.
At the end of the day, our Constitution and democracy still prevailed. Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all you did yesterday, and so glad to see you safe.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.